Number 17, City Council reports, beginning with Councilmember Baumgarten.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First, I want to acknowledge the effort you made tonight in regards to the GAP facility. It took a lot of ability, humbleness, and leadership to admit what you did, and you have my respect for doing that, and also for scheduling the meeting so that we can have the conversation with those who are affected by the decision during the budget process. And I look forward to the opportunities to explore options, to do our best to try to keep that facility open. It is not an easy position to sit in this seat, and you've heard this from people before, and make the hard decisions where there are not a lot of dollars to go around for a lot of needs. And but the process, it does and should include public input, and we're going to have that so that we can try to make the best decision and move in a direction that it hopefully is a win-win for everybody. But thank you. Thank you. I attended the SASA meeting since our last meeting. We approved a budget. Proud to say that the Animal Services Authority is a well-run machine down there. They have a lot of concerns and a lot of things that they deal with as well. If you ever get a chance to go down there and see the operation, I'm sure that you would be impressed like I am. And they have a fundraiser coming up on August 15th. I think it's on the web. If I pause for a cause, if you have a kindness towards animals, you might take a look at that and support that operation. On July 4th, we had a great day in Yuba City. We started the day off with rededicating our Pluma Street flagpole. We followed that up with the 18th, I believe it's the 18th version of the Kids Parade. And then we ended up with a regional fireworks show, first in quite some time. And to my fellow council members, thank you for your support in getting that done. I know that we've got some recognition we're going to do down the road here a little bit for some special efforts, but the comments that I heard and the ability to bring something back regionally to our community, which was not only the council, but staff and a lot of extraordinary effort that was done on short notice. So just wanted to appreciate that. Attended LAFCO. We annexed, or are in the process of finalizing the annexation of 52 acres called Wildwood East into the city of Yuba City. I believe there's 48 residences out there. 100% of the folks wanted to join our city. I think that's probably one of the first times I've ever witnessed where 100% of the people wanted to come in. We did discuss the Bogue Stewart Master Plan, which is a sphere of influence and a potential growth for the city. It's going to be a process, but that's also something that's coming up on the horizon, and it'll be worth watching. That could be proved to be very beneficial to the city of Yuba City. Other than that, that's all I have, sir.
All right. Thank you for that. Councilwoman Espandola.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Cardoza and I had the opportunity to assist, and I think our manager ended up going on a second to the state. I'm not sure if you ended up there but I think you went for a different bill, correct? On AB 430, which is the housing development and campfire housing that is being sponsored by Assemblyman Gallagher. So we went to go and support that particular bill, and it's moving along. It's in the Senate. It's going back for it. It was passed that day. Now it's gone through the second reading. It's scheduled for a second reading, and hopefully that ends up getting passed. And just in a quick summary with that bill, assist our community with some shortening of timeframes for building and CEQA and all of these other rules that are tied into that. So we had that opportunity to go and support him, and we did that with great pride, because there were very few cities, well, there were several cities listed, and Yuba City was one of them. Attending the rededication, and so thank you, Councilman Baumgarten and Shaw, for for honoring us with the new pole and doing that for our community. And I think that that's a wonderful token of gratitude and great service to our community. And so thank you for that. And the parade was just a great joy. It was so much fun. Everyone, the family, and so many of our staff, our team of city employees and members were there. And I take such great pride in that because when we go to these events, it feels like just our whole family's there. And so I really appreciate that. Then Vice Mayor Cardoso and I attended a community meeting also for a possible development usage of the facility, which is on Stabler, the old vacant facility right across from McDonald's. So they're looking at possibly expanding some services there for individuals with alcohol and drug abuse and those kinds of things. Also had the opportunity, I think all of us went to this one, the Chamber Hard Rock, and listened to the process and about the company and how Hard Rock wants to become part of the fabric of this community. And then our mayor and vice mayor and I had the honor of talking with a group of migrant education kids. And that moment gave me such pride and such honor because at one time I was a migrant ed kid myself. So to be here present and be, in a sense, a role model for our children, that really filled my heart. And to see them listening to two other quality gentlemen who are serving in our community was something that was, I say it's one of the best parts of this job to do. And lastly, I want to thank you, Mayor, for opening up the way you started our meeting. I think that what you did is showed, when something somehow turns out not to come out the way you plan it, but then you come forward and say, I own it, and I'm here to fix it and figure it out a different way. That shows truly what a good leadership you are. So thank you. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Mr. Shaw?
Mr. Mayor, we've had some holidays since our last meeting, namely the 4th of July. Thanks, Councilmember Baumgarten, for all your work, working with the municipalities around us. A lot of people's been excited. The 4th of July was great. Words that came out of people, and it's come to my mind, is a sense of Americana, getting back to community. We really saw that on the 4th, and that's something we've been missing for a long time. So thank you for all your hard work in that. Ms. Langley, to our entire staff at the city, the things they did behind the scenes in preparation for the 4th of July, cannot say thank you enough. They went above and beyond any expectation that anyone in the city could have had. So kudos to our team here at the city. Great job, and great job to the partners, and thank you that partnered with the hot dogs and the waters and everything that day. I mean, that was a community effort from, I know Lowe's was one of them that donated. There's too many to mention, but that was one. I remember the employees at Lowe's stepped up as well. Personally went around and talked to different departments, was over at the Corp Yard, and like I said, off the charts. Great job by all of our city staff. Regional Water Board met last week. Nothing notable to report there. We've got Yuba City Transit Authority coming up. I did attend the grand opening for AAA as they become part of our neighborhood over there on Stabler. But I want to go back to what it was said earlier about Mr. Mayor, thanks for opening up the way you did. Your head can swell a little bit. You did a good job. You can be proud of that. But at the same time, where the other council members are just saying, good job. No, you're not alone because you weren't alone in the budgetary process. I was there with you. We're looking at numbers. We're looking at things. Obviously, there's a different dimension to this, so I look forward to working continually with you and the other council members to let's see what we can find as far as options. Let's see what we can find as far as solutions, because that's one thing this council has put forward is if there's something that's awry, we own it, we stand behind it, and then we turn around and let's figure out how to make it work if we can. So I look forward to working with you there, and that's it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Cardoza.
Okay, I attended a little over 20 events the last few weeks. I'm just going to highlight a couple of them because we've all were there all together. But kudos for our bringing back our fireworks. That was a great day in our community, working together with our neighbors and all together. That was a great day. Also the parade. I'd like to. I attended the Senior Center Waffle Wednesday. Served waffles to the seniors, and also 4th of July holiday, we served hot dog lunches or hot dogs to all the seniors that day there. So that was a great day in the community at our senior center. And this was a big thing that I've been doing the last 4 years. The free summer meals program. Children in our community, they only get one or two good meals a day, and it's at school. And in the summertime, when there's no school on, they don't have a good meal. They don't make it till school starts. Well, the state has given funding, and the Yuba City Unified School District is running the program. So I was out serving breakfast and lunch in the 14 schools of Yuba City Unified School District, and the Kids Time Summer Camp at the Racket Club, also at the Adventist Church, and also our Sutter County Library is serving breakfast and lunch. So I want to say thank you for all the food services staff, the Yuba City Unified School District, and all the folks there. And then I had the honors of throwing out the first pitch at our All-Star Tournament game. It was Peach Bowl against South Sutter. I got over the plate, but I was about this far off to the left. So, but I had a fun time. They said at least I got it to the catcher. So other than that, I'm going to cut it short. And also, I want to thank the mayor for everything that he does. And well, starting off the meeting, I want to thank you and appreciate working alongside you. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And thank you all of you. It's just one of those things where things did not turn out, or they weren't what we thought they were. And it got very much underestimated the gravity of the issue, clearly. And so now it's time to make it right. And on the 29th, that's what we're planning on doing, at least working towards that and have a conversation as a community. One thing I do want to piggyback on that is I need to, there's two things I need direction for staff. I'm directing staff to prepare an overview of the GAP, Gaucher Aquatic Park, including the financials in preparation for that meeting on the 29th. A presentation for the public. Also directing staff to begin discussing with members of FRAC between now and that meeting to discuss potential options to avoid the closure. So that'll finish that off, and we'll hopefully see anyone who's interested, hopefully most of you, on the 29th. As far as meetings, we are repeating some of that. I don't want to repeat anything, but the one I'm not going to avoid repeating is the 4th of July. It happens to be an awesome holiday, and I tell you what, the work that I know Councilmember Baumgarten initiated that conversation, at least here in the city, and put a lot of tireless hours and work into that, as did city staff, and it really turned out wonderful. The entire day. The donation for the flagpole from both of you gentlemen was awesome. It's my honor to have been the one, as your mayor, to give the address dedicating that, and then the parade. I think we probably have a new route, flagpole to fountain. Hadn't heard nothing but positive, and like Dave said, you get that sense of Americana here in Yuba City, and that was really awesome. I had a family gig to go to during the fireworks, but I was able to sneak away a little early, drive over, and got to see the finale of the show, and everyone says it was just spectacular. So really good, and good job to everybody. It was really a good time. Oak Stewart. Most of my, in fact, all of my meetings, with the exception of Yuba City Arts Board, which was just simply a meeting to elect a new board and discuss some other details of upcoming projects, but they're all canceled. Everyone's bailing for the summer. But I did have a lot of community things I attended to, in addition to, of course, we spent a lot of time on the city manager appointment process. We spent a lot of time, or we had one meeting in preparation for our public employee retirement system, addressing our unfunded liability. We're having that meeting coming up soon, and so we're preparing for that. Also, the employee negotiations are in process as well. Grace already mentioned the migrant education student meeting. We had them all right here. They asked some very good questions of us, and they're going to be definitely some future leaders, just like you are right now. It was really a good or one honor to be a part of welcoming them to our city. The pickleball ribbon cutting, if you haven't played that, make sure you guys get on Amazon.com. It's not called a racket or whatever. I've learned that, or a paddle. In fact, it is a paddle. It's not called a racket. I learned that one the hard way. I got corrected real quick. So we're going to try to have somewhat of a tournament for the fun of it at our pickleball. So if anybody get a team together, it'll be a fun time. Maybe raise a little bit of money for a good cause. Likely Casa de Esperanza and foster agency, for foster children. I did meet with a representative from Kamala Harris's office here in City Hall, rather than typically in D.C. And so we discussed several topics. She was interested and brought them back to Washington with her. A lot of the things I admitted, and she agreed, that there are universal challenges for cities. We discussed homelessness, roads and infrastructure, public safety, which not just police and fire, but emergency response, evacuation routes, and things like that, where Washington might be able to include Yuba City in a bigger plan. We even discussed our bicycle master plan, a vision that I would love to have, and I don't think I'm alone in sharing that, would be extending in some way the way folks can go from out there at Acacia on the old railroad right-of-way, that path all the way to Plumas Bridge, where the railroad track used to be. We can't do some of it because of some mitigation problems with the property, but if we can get a way to safely navigate through that, we're going to try to incorporate that into our bicycle master plan, and eventually it's going to be kind of a project for us. I think that'd be pretty awesome. If I was a billionaire, I'd just write us a check, we'll make it happen. But I would love to see like a 50, or a 30-yard, whatever it is, wide green belt with benches and trees all the way to Plumas Bridge. Wouldn't that be awesome? But we'll get close to that as possible, hopefully. Eventually we'll do that. And I think, the bus tour. I've been trying to do Meet the Mayor, community outreach meetings throughout the community, ideally monthly. Sometimes it hasn't worked out because of scheduling. But our last one we did was on the city's bus. We had, I believe it was a total of 18 people on board the bus, and we toured Sam Brandon Park. And thank you, Brad, for all of that work. He gave us a tour of the park and also the brand new pickleball courts, his pride and joy, and did a lot of work in that effort. He also gave a spiel at our new Harder Parkway park site, had complete with drawings and maps for everybody, and everyone was quite interested in that. They had a walkthrough and a presentation at Yuba City Fire Station number 4. So they got to talk with the firemen and climb on the fire trucks and see where those folks live for 48 hours every 6 days. Is what they're living, and they're protecting us. Then we also drove down the Bridge Street corridor when we have some, we're widening projects and hopefully bring some more infrastructure and businesses, and hopefully some mixed-use housing, and basically a blank slate of opportunity down that entire corridor. So they got to have a conversation about that with the folks, and then we went and observed the site of the new 5th Street Bridge project. And I don't think I'm forgetting anything. That was it, and it was very informative time, and the point is, of course, not to complain or anything like that for folks, but the point of it is to get together and have conversations about our community. We all live here. We're all the same thing. We all want the same thing. But I was really pleased, on a personal level even, not just professional, to see new faces, meet new people, and provide them an opportunity. Hey, you know what? This is a pretty good thing. Maybe we're going to tell our friends and go to the next one. The next one, what I'd like to do, it's still in the works, but we have we have the, oh my gosh, United Way, the Community Resource Fair at the Gap coming up. And I would like to put up a booth there and basically stand there and talk to who everybody wants to talk to me. And basically the point is being available for questions or comments or ideas from the people that we work for. That was the intent of the whole thing. And so that's going to be the next take on that, is to perhaps be at that event.
And that will be August 17th.
Thank you. I was going to look that up. That is on August 17th, which is a Saturday. I think that is it for now. A few things coming up. I'll be able to report on it at our next meeting. So with that, we're going to go ahead and close. I've made the decision I'm going to close. We have a lot of folks, I see a few of them out there right now, that come to just about every council meeting. And a lot of folks really dig deep into the decisions we make, the projects going on, and they have opinions on that. And they come and frequently get up to that podium right there, and they express them. Sometimes they agree, sometimes they don't. But one gentleman who is one of those folks who would come to meetings and exercise his right to tell us how he feels was Bob Renton. Unfortunately, Bob Renton passed away recently. And so I would like to close this meeting in his memory. So with that, thank you very much.